Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony. Carla Marie is on her way in. I think I hear her down the hall, but she could also be playing with cats. So it's really hard to know if that's going to happen or not. But thank you for hanging out with us. I am currently trying to update this schedule thing again.
A minute warning. I just started doing my lip gloss for no reason.
Is it popping? Is the lip gloss popping? Well, the mic should be popping with some headphones. Let's go.
I was just hanging out down there.
I knew it. I assumed you were hanging out with cats, honestly. So, welcome to the show.
Oh.
What, Carla Marie? What the heck is going on here? Why isn't it?
That's so weird. We're seeing it.
There we
it
go.
is.
I don't know. That happened yesterday, too, when we started the show. The video didn't, transfer over.
Good.
I
I've
don't
been
know.
here this whole time.
We will, we'll figure it out. But we are now on screen, as you
Why?
can see and we can see. What?
What's going on with us lately that we look orange?
The camera could have, reset something, so I've got to figure that out.
Oh my God. I had a dream about Fred the mailman. I just saw his name in the live chat.
And?
He was in Puerto Rico and he called me. I think there was an earthquake. It was not good. I did not have good
Were
dreams.
you there because of your niece's
No, I
bachelorette
was
party?
here, but I don't know why he called me.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the worst call he could have made. In
Yeah,
reality.
We look yellowish green.
I'm gonna see if I can change this
Put the
color
lights-
to a slightly lighter color. It
If
doesn't.
It definitely helps. Put it to white like I had it yesterday.
I was gonna put it to red. Does that help? Now everything is orange.
Peaky's orange.
All right, we are gonna move on. So, on the list today, cats and drugs. We've got to talk about that.
Oh my God.
Getting back with your ex. I know you mentioned this yesterday, Carla Marie, with Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello hooking up at
Are you getting back with your ex?
Coachella. Probably not. I think they're all very busy with their lives.
They're all moms.
I think most of them are. Yeah. Well, most of my any of my serious girlfriends or girls that I've seriously dated are currently moms. There's a number though that are still out there. What?
I just wondering.
Yeah. So, Carla Marie,
The people.
let's get a little bit of focus here.
People liked the blue.
We are working on a system, and I don't know if it'll work with these lights, but if we update our studio, which we're hoping to do, there could be a way for you to change the lights. There is one now. It's just the Govee lights don't work with the system as well as other brands do. So we're hoping to update and okay. What are you doing?
Pull up the color rainbow for me.
Well, you're on the wrong lights.
Oh.
You need
Was
to
I
be-
adjusting downstairs?
No, you're adjusting the ones behind the TV that no one can really see.
Oh.
So, here, select all. Nope, stop it. We're just going to move it to this color, and we're moving on. No more light switching for the rest of the show for Carla Marie. But there will be a way, and maybe I'll try to get it to work with these Govee lights soon, where you could actually use channel points to change the light colors, which would be pretty cool. Similar to how you could change the emotes on the screen.
It'd be cool.
If you go into your channel points in the chat, I think that's where channel points are, right? You can choose like Party Anthony or Lifting Anthony or Football Carla Marie. And you can put those on the screen.
I'm adding to the list today
Mm-hmm.
a Kenny update.
A Kenny update? Oh, I thought you were talking about Kenny Chesney for a second. So, I was very confused. The other thing we got to talk about is our friends at HelloFresh. If you type in the word fresh
I'm
right
doing
now,
this right now.
exclamation point, and the word fresh, you do get 50% off HelloFresh, your full order, and first shipping is free. So,
Note, sir. I printed them. We're so official.
wow, look at that.
Isn't that cool?
All it took was HelloFresh to come in to make us official. What do you got, Carla Marie?
Okay, so our box gets here tomorrow. If you don't know what HelloFresh is, it's a
Good call.
meal kit delivery service. So you get all of the ingredients you need to make dinner. It's great if you're busy. It's great if you're not busy because it helps you find new things. It's also more affordable than shopping at a grocery store or doing takeout.
It doesn't seem like it should be,
But
but I think what do you compare just the cost of the ingredients you're using to what you would have to get at the supermarket to make that same recipe. Carbon footprint is smaller,
yeah,
and
it's
it's
crazy.
sometimes cheaper.
And you talked about this yesterday that everything is pre-portioned. So
That's the best part.
sometimes there are recipes that I want to make and I'm like, I'm not going to buy this whole big container of something that I'm only going to need to use once. With HelloFresh, it's obviously comes in like a tiny little bag, and you can use it that one time and decide if you really want it, which is super cool. So like Anthony said, go to HelloFresh.com/CMA50 and then use code CMA50. It might pop up there already, but just in case if it doesn't, CMA50 is the code. You'll get 50% off your first box and free shipping.
Yeah. So go check that out. We'll remind you later, or remind the people who show up late today later in the show as well. So shout out to them. Now.
Oh, sorry. Diva Woman asked a question. Do you have to purchase additional items with HelloFresh? No. So it comes with everything you need. Sometimes it'll be like, you need to have your own oil for your pan.
Or a plate.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, like the bare minimum things like salt, pepper, they don't normally give you. But everything else, I've never had anything where I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah, but you have to provide like your own, stove.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Imagine, though, you could just have like a kitchen roll-up.
That's next.
And you don't have to clean it either.
No,
that's a great service.
We'll talk to HelloFresh.
A kitchen van that you can just call in. It pulls up right in front of your home. And then when you're done making your food, God bless you, when you're done making your food, it just drives away. And then you don't have to worry about the silverware. You don't have to worry about cleaning anything. Just bam, bam, bam. I like it.
Thank you, everyone, for using the bless you emote.
Look at that beautiful bless you emote, which we can't put up on the screen because, there it is. I mean, I guess that is just takeout. But what if you want to cook for yourself and don't want takeout?
Okay.
I think there's a very very small market for this.
All right. They'll invent it.
So, moving on though. First things first, I thought I almost killed a cat yesterday. So,
what time was this? Tell everybody.
This was about, I don't know, 1:15 in the morning, something like that. So I was finishing up everything in this studio, and what I normally do is I keep these pills here. They are zinc and magnesium, and you're supposed to take it after dinner by at least an hour on an empty stomach, and it helps with like muscle recovery and recovery in general, right? So I'm supposed to take 3. That's the serving size, right? 3. And I poured it out, closed up the container. And I was like, oh, wait a second. I only got myself 2. So I poured it up, put another one in my hand, took my pills, moved on with my night. But I realized the 2 of the cats, Max and Caroline, were swirling around me a lot yesterday for that time of night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And as I was getting ready to put everything away, I looked down and there was white stuff everywhere on the floor. It's still here a little bit. I got a vacuum. And I realized that one of the cats, and I'm 99.9% sure it was Caroline because she's the one that is more likely to get into things, ripped open one of these because I had dropped it.
But it was like a line, like they were like doing a line of coke in here.
Yeah, it was a squiggly cat line. It wasn't necessarily the straightest thing they could have done.
Long.
But I immediately panicked.
So
and just started wondering what in this is going to kill a cat.
So then, and I know you were panicked because he wakes me up.
Yeah.
And is like, you need to come here. And I'm like, what in the action? So now I'm thinking I got to go re-record something for the podcast. Because he's like being like so calm about it. He's like, come here. And I'm like following him down the hall. I'm like, is this a dream?
I didn't want to wake you up and be like, I think I'm killing a cat. Get up.
And then I come walking in the room and he just points at the floor. It leaves the mess. Points at the floor and is like, I thought I had 2 pills. I thought I had 3 pills, but I only had 2. And I guess I dropped one. I think it was Caroline. It was zinc and magnesium. And just like looks at me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go Google it, which you also could have done.
I did afterwards.
Zinc is insanely toxic.
But I knew that you knew all the vet info. So I figured.
Oh, that's funny because you know how many times I've tried to give it to you and you're like, I don't want that in my phone.
Yeah, I didn't need it. Because you're here. So I knew that you had all the vet info. So I figured I would get you up first before I searched anything. That way, if we did discover that the vet needed to be called, you were up and ready to go with all the information,
But she seems fine.
Yeah, and I looked it up. zinc and magnesium can both be taken by cats. Sometimes they're prescribed to cats,
Mhm.
obviously in much smaller doses, and they'd have to have a lot
Yeah, I don't think she
for
has.
any sort of issues, and they've made it this far. So,
Well, they're not in here. Don't say that.
but, well, I was gonna vacuum it, but I didn't want to vacuum at 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel like that was even
So
more.
what'd you do? Leave it in here last night?
I used the napkin and to like a tissue, I should say, to blot it a little bit.
We have the tiny vacuum.
Either way, it's a vacuum. It makes the same noise. Maybe not as loud. And I would like to point out, my brother Justin, not my Justin.
You have to start
He said when
calling him my
Anthony is confusingly calm, he's panicked. I don't think I'm panicked. I think I just have a very good. I can handle stressful situations in a very calm manner. I'd say 99.9% of the time. I try not to lose my cool very often.
Mm.
And when I do think there's a situation that can cause panic, I make sure that I'm not the one panicking so that I can like make sure I'm doing things properly.
Yeah. You're gonna need to put the vet info also in your phone though.
Maybe.
Because what if I'm not here?
Maybe put it on an index card somewhere.
It's on there. There's the emergency numbers on the refrigerator.
There you go. Now that I know that, I don't need it on my phone.
No, that's not their actual vet though. That's
Well,
not Dr.
who is
Meredith.
that?
That's the emergency center.
Oh, so my brother. This is how my brother explains to me. He said, "Yeah, but you use that tone. Everything is okay, but." And that's how you're supposed to handle problems like that. Everything is under control. I just need you to know this is also happening. I still think I guess I lost my cool a little bit because my dad was being annoying, but the best high pressure situation, the best performance I had in a high pressure situation was driving around
It was a situation.
the streets of Spain in a 15-passenger van on these tiny alleys where literally we had to bring the mirrors in just to get down some of these streets and make some of these turns.
Well, I felt like we were in a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie. Like, well, when they go to like Italy or Paris or whatever, they go on their movies and they get trapped somewhere. And Anthony is driving. Not only was your dad saying things, your mom was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't think we should be doing this.
Everyone basically had an opinion, and they needed it to be known in that moment. And as Lenny has seen recently, because he was just in Spain, he said those streets in Spain are really small.
And we were in like a passenger van.
We were in a gigantic van. Like a Sprinter, not a Sprinter van, but
And we had Prince Charming,
yeah.
who is this very gorgeous man,
Wonder what that guy's doing these days.
telling people not to go down the streets. He was in his perfect little suit on his way to work, and he was like, popped his head and was like, no, back up. Yeah.
I think I would have gone down the street if it wasn't for that man. I would have tried.
Well, you know what?
And he came in and this is the weirdest thing about that man. So, in short, it was the very beginning of this fiasco of trying to drive this big van down these narrow streets. And we had two ways to go. The GPS was taking us one way,
Which makes
and we were probably sitting there for 3 or 4 minutes trying to figure out if we could fit
Google
down
Maps.
this one road.
Google Maps in Spain should ask you the size of your vehicle before it sends you down
Yes.
streets.
So we're waiting. We're all discussing among ourselves if we can make it. Everyone's walking by us like, I don't think these people are going to make it. And right when I was like, all right, I'm going for it, this guy literally popped his head halfway into the car
Yeah, right in my face.
and just went with the most charming smile.
He was like a Disney prince, this
Yeah.
man. And and the best part was that me, Anthony's mom, and Justin's fiance Rihanna, we were all like, when he popped his head back out in the middle of this chaos, we were like, that man.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good, very like stereotypically good-looking Spanish man.
He was a Disney prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Well, Disney. I'm trying to think.
he was like Prince Charming.
Isn't Prince Charming blonde?
He was blonde.
No, was he?
Yeah, he had light hair.
I'm remembering him differently. But either way, we move on. So the cats are okay. They're just recovering better now that they have zinc and magnesium in their systems. Probably a little too much, but not a dangerous amount. And
God.
Melissa said he had black hair.
The hell was Melissa there?
Maybe you said. I think we talked about
He
this
didn't have
before.
light hair. He had light hair.
I'm just gonna go with Melissa.
He popped into my face.
So thank you to Unicorn Cindy for
Oh,
the
Prince
resub.
Charming and black
Oh,
hair.
okay. Unicorn Cindy resubbed for a month, and AMS06H also resubbed for a month. And I know we got one from Jersey Quinn and Drown You Out today, so thank you
Thank
all
you guys.
for the resubs today. There is no hype train at the moment, but we do have a drink from our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club as we get ready for their Ready to Drink Cocktail Awards, the RTDs. Another one from Denali Spirits, which is up in Alaska. This one, Blueberry Mojito.
Ooh.
And 13% alcohol by volume.
Are we
Yesterday's
drinking it?
Strawberry Basil was only, I believe, 10%.
Pop it open.
So we are up in the ante here.
Oh, we're not. Are we drinking it or what's happening?
Yeah, why not? Let's crack it open here.
Does any Disney prince have light hair?
Who's in Little Mermaid?
He has black hair. Eric.
Eric. Eric.
The only one I can think of, but he's not a prince, is Hans from Frozen, but he is in that prince role, and his hair is like orange.
Hercules. Good one.
Oh, the Beast as a person, drown you out.
He's
You're right.
blonde?
Yeah. You don't really ever see him like that.
Huh.
Oh, Kristoff, but he's not.
Who's Kristoff?
He's the good one in Frozen, but he also doesn't. It's not a prince, right?
I need to watch Frozen again. I've never watched Frozen 2.
Me neither.
Oh, John Smith, Pocahontas. He's got lighter hair. Not blonde, but it's definitely not dark. It's not like black. Was Frozen 2 any good?
Sure.
Oh, John Smith is also not a prince.
No,
so I guess that's
a colonist.
he's a colonizer.
Yeah.
Well, then Hercules is Hercules a prince?
Or a god.
He's a demigod, or he's a god or a demigod. Yeah, we're gonna move on from the Disney stuff because I feel like Thursday we're gonna end up in all Disney talk because Carla Marie is getting ready for the Disney, what's it called? Be Our Guest.
Be our guest.
Be Our Guest, which is Disney's emo night.
My nephew loves Coco, which is how I got my nickname.
Great movie.
No, I thought you were gonna make fun of me.
No.
And it's only because he was whining and wanted to watch Coco, and he was going Coco, Carla, Coco, Carla, and I was like, "Can you call me that, please?" And then he was like laughing. He's like, "Coco, Carla," and it stopped. Like truly, that's all he calls me.
That's funny. Coco, great movie. Moving on though, getting back with your ex as we pour out this drink from Denali Spirits and taste it. Why don't you explain, Carla Marie, the Camila Cabello, Shawn Mendes situation?
They were spotted at Coachella Music Festival in California, smooching, making out in the public.
Now that doesn't mean they're together again. It just means they found themselves as two highly attractive, highly successful people at a very influencer, paparazzi crazed event. And they said, you know what? Why don't we make out again? We don't know if they're together.
I'm telling you right now, if you're a celebrity, you don't make out with someone, your ex, in public, unless A, you're back together, or B, you're doing it for a publicity stunt. Or you're like insanely wasted.
Or C, you're wasted, and you know you're wasted, but you're also smart enough to know at your level as a celebrity, you can't just make out with randos. Especially at Coachella, when every influencer is going to try to use you for their own career.
And they did.
Right? So I think what we are discounting, because a lot of people, when the notification went out today, because it says, should you get back with your ex, let's discuss. A lot of people, when this chat started, immediately came in, they're like, no, never, terrible idea. And I disagree.
I think it all depends. I mean,
I disagree.
My parents broke up at one point.
So did mine. They broke up for a year.
I mean, not that long, but.
Yeah. But. Well, they called off an engagement for a year.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. So I do think for especially celebrities, it almost makes more sense to make sure that you're hooking up, especially if it's a random like that, like a random scenario where you're not going to hook up with that person again. It makes more sense to hook up with that person that you trust and have had a relationship with, because there's too much on the line when you're a celebrity to hook up with randos, especially at public events. Because I guarantee you,
I
Shawn
guess, but
Mendes.
it's not like they were at a makeout event.
I'm not saying it was a makeout event, but they were at Coachella. There's cameras everywhere. There's
No,
influencers
you're making
everywhere.
it sound like they had to find someone to make out with at
Yeah.
Coachella. We didn't make out at a Coachella.
No.
We didn't make out at Stagecoach.
No,
You know, it's not like.
we're not super celebrities with like VIP areas
So
and
I'm
stuff.
confused, like why you're saying they needed to make out with someone at Coachella.
I'm not saying they needed to make out with someone. I'm saying if they were going to make out with someone, they needed to make sure it was with each other. Because you know that if some random hot influencer made out with Shawn Mendes, all of a sudden she would have skyrocketed in influencer fame.
Yeah, I would have tried.
It would have been like, oh, who's Shawn Mendes' new girl? Blah, blah, blah. And if it was Camila, it'd be like, who's the new Matthew Hussey? You know?
Forgot about that always. Thank God.
That was a weird
was-
relationship because Matthew Hussey was considerably older than Camila.
Yeah.
Like over a dozen years, I think. When they started, because she
When you say a dozen,
what? I want to make it sound as ridiculous as possible because it was. But getting back to the topic at hand, is getting back with your ex a good idea? Can it be a good idea?
it's just as good of an idea of meeting someone new. Honestly,
Yeah.
it all depends. I think it all depends on the relationship.
Ooh, this is from Vicky. She said apparently they went together, and yesterday TMZ showed more footage of them hugging
I
and
saw that
Sean
footage.
grabbing Camila from Zebek.
It all depends why you broke up with your ex. Did you break up because you just weren't agreeing on things anymore, or just weren't agreeing like, hey, you know what, we don't see eye to eye. 5
Yeah.
years later, you'll grow up and maybe everyone sees things differently. Or did you break up because it was toxic and you were fighting all the time? Like,
Well, I think you could break up for both good and bad. Not good, like for a number of reasons, I should say. There's a number of things that can break a couple apart. And either way, you're most likely going to grow from that situation. Right? Even if you're a toxic D-bag. Hopefully at some point.
well, some people never change though.
Some don't, but most people grow out of that. I did,
It's true.
I think.
So you're saying your exes would get back with you because you grew so
They
much.
would be so lucky.
Okay.
If you thought I was amazing back then, wait till you see the new version of me. This version's phenomenal. This version has all the good parts and not none of the bad parts, but fewer of the bad
Okay.
parts. Minimized bad parts.
Hmm.
Not necessarily enhanced good parts, but just as good as they were. Let's see.
No comment.
Yeah, I guess if you have a restraining order on your ex, maybe don't get back
yeah,
with
helps. I wouldn't do
with that person. So that seems like a decision you made then that is never getting back together. How would you even go about that?
You have to cancel it.
Because do restraining orders have time limits?
Everywhere is
expiration dates?
completely different. I don't know. Your brother's the lawyer. He can tell us.
That's true.
But they're, from what I understand, they're different in every state. Because when I watched the Stalker show, that's what I learned.
What is it?
I'm a stalker.
What did you learn?
That restraining orders are different everywhere, and they're like, you have to be able to be like, hey, this person like tried to murder me yesterday. Can I get a restraining
Oh
order?
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is. There was one time I tried to get a restraining order. What, Carla?
Marijuana just gifted 5 tier 1 subs.
Hey, thank you, marijuana. I'm gonna see him tomorrow.
Again?
Yeah. When you're a hairy Middle Eastern man, there's things you got to clean up all the time, like your neck.
Oh, marijuana. I sent my chiropractor to you,
Oh yeah, that's right.
not to adjust you.
Your sub goals of 500 was just completed. Thank you very
Whoa.
much.
Cool.
Let's see. So Angela in Spokane said, yes, restraining orders vary for time limits. Generally, they're 1 year in Washington State. I feel like it should be longer than that.
Okay, so you had a restraining order?
I tried to get one. No, not, by the way, not on me, as far as I know. Because I would have been notified, right, if there was a restraining order on me?
I don't know. I'd assume so.
I feel like they should tell you, hey, you can't be
Yeah,
here. Otherwise, it's kind of a trap.
right.
So when we had to let someone go from my dad's restaurant in Jersey City, we were closing the restaurant down anyway. So everyone was going to not have a job in about 2 months. This guy, and I understand, I have been let go. It sucks, but he did not take it well and made a bunch of threats to me and my family. And we had mall security there, which was pretty hilarious because it happened in a mall food court. And we couldn't get a restraining order on him because, like you said, there was no like physical evidence that he tried
Which is
to
crazy,
harm us.
because
But
a threat should count as evidence.
there was a security guard there who heard all of the threats. But basically
So
what the cops did, because the security guard like vouched for us, and the cops called him and basically said, hey, this is what we heard happened today at the mall food court, which has to be an embarrassing call to receive. Not going to make you happier than you were before.
No.
And if you show up there again, we will be able to issue a restraining order.
Wow.
So if he showed up one more time, which who knows what would have happened, then he would have had a restraining order. Luckily, I don't think we ever had an issue with him.
That's wild.
Yeah, after that day. Except for some text messages he would send me from time to time.
Well, that should count.
You know what? I understand the disappointment and the heartbreak of being let go. And a lot of those jobs, you got to remember, in the service industry, you might be like, oh, well, who wants to have that job anyway? A lot of people don't have the option to pick and choose what jobs they have if they're in that situation to begin with. So it's a crappy situation to be in.
Fred the mailman says getting back with your ex is the relationship equivalent of dumpster diving.
But I'm sure there are people in the chat here, by the way, who either have gotten back with exes and maybe it didn't end well a second time, but maybe they're married to their ex right now. I think
I got back with my ex in high school.
Yeah, I try not to count high school relationships.
Yeah,
They're
but I'll
like-
be honest
they're not
with you,
real.
that was like my saddest breakup ever.
Well, because it was your first? Like your first real?
First cut is the deal.
Yeah, which it was it?
No.
Because like my college breakup I took pretty tough, but it was also my first breakup, my first real breakup.
You took your next breakup pretty rough too.
Not really, because that one was more on and off towards the end. It wasn't healthy,
No.
but I didn't take it as hard. I wasn't as depressed for as long as I was in what was that? What happened? This is my cousin Michelle. Getting back with your ex is the same as eating your own vomit. I don't know. If you gave me those options, I don't think I'm taking the vomit.
No.
But some people would.
All right, well, it's safe to say we've all agreed, honestly, it's not the best, but maybe.
I'm not agreeing with that. I'm saying that it is dependent, obviously, on all the different details.
But I bet you if you took every time people got back together with their ex, it probably was bad.
And I don't know if I've ever actually gotten...
More times than not.
So, I don't know if I've ever actually gotten back officially with an ex. I've been more in the Camilla Sean phase, where like, yeah, we were seen together, went to some events together, but we were never officially
you
back.
don't know if, and they could be back.
I don't think they are.
Well, you broke up.
Yeah, that's true. But that was before anyone knew we were dating, so it doesn't really matter. We may as well not have been dating.
That's great. I saw that.
Also, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people getting back with their ex.
Oh, your parents.
I wouldn't exist.
Same.
I wouldn't exist. So I can't really hate people getting back with their exes
No.
because I wouldn't exist.
No.
This show wouldn't exist. So
So I saw that Desiree said it's been 1 year since she's been watching the show here on
Welcome.
Twitch, and she graduates later this month.
welcome to your 1 year anniversary show.
It's pretty cool. You haven't tried it yet. Wait, you
Good.
didn't hit it. It's my finger.
Cheers. Bless you. Oh, hello. Today's Gabriel's birthday? Well, happy birthday to Gabriel, too. Screw it. While Carla is blowing her nose for an hour. Okay.
I forgot to take my allergy medicine last night. Took it this morning. But this is everything that was stuck in there. It's like actually coming out. It's probably a good thing I did this. But I can tell that this kind of nose stuff is different than it's been, I guess, because I was sick. It's like super thick. Like I could
Is that
use it
good?
to stick stuff to the wall if I wanted.
You should try it. So
Making me light.
the suggestion came through that we should play that birthday song every time you are blowing your nose or
No.
sneezing.
No.
But I could get the there's like a dance hall song that just goes, I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed. And I could play that.
Sure.
Although we'll probably get banned from YouTube.
Happy birthday, everybody.
So
Yeah, we're just gonna keep ripping off these people that don't have a record label.
yeah, I mean it's a bunch of Arabs singing happy birthday. I don't think they own the rights to the song either. So I
Yeah.
think we're okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you are getting those cold boogers out, it's fun.
It is fun.
I was going to talk about HelloFresh here, but I think we should
No,
wait.
we'll wait. I did want to talk about in the dugout because yesterday we went to the Mariners game. They played the Milwaukee Brewers. #sports. And my friend Hannah and her husband Nick got us tickets to the game, and they were 2 rows back from the Brewers dugout.
Yeah.
like
There's
you
only
could-
one row
you
between
could
us
tap
and the
the
dugout.
dugout.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. We first sat down. I was like, oh my God, I could wave to the players. And I went, sup? And one looked at me and went, and I was like, and then he kept looking at me and Hannah.
I mean, he acknowledged you.
And no, every time he came off the field, he was staring at us. I think we were his good luck charm. I think he was number 9 or 39. I don't even know if there's a 39.
I mean, the Brewers did win yesterday.
they
So.
did. But that was so nuts. So nuts.
It was definitely because we were not only were we behind the dugout, our seats were right against the tunnel that would
Yeah.
go to the clubhouse.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we got to see like a lot of the between the inning action.
I've never been
It
that
is
close.
Pretty fascinating.
I wanted to give them my You Look Great hat when they were leaving the game.
But we didn't wait till the end of the game.
It was freezing.
It was not the warmest weather yesterday. Seattle's had like unseasonably cold and rainy
Warm.
weather, which
But it was also like 80 a week ago, it feels
yeah,
like.
it's weird. But yeah, the view from that seat is amazing.
Yeah.
And I do like being behind the net.
Yeah, because you're not scared.
Yeah, you're not worried about dying. Because there's times I've been along like the right or left field line or the third base and first base line. And if that net's not in front of you, I mean, you've got to be alert at all times because that thing could take
Yeah.
your head off.
And our friend Nick gets them from work, the
Mhm.
tickets. I was like, so Nick, when the Yankees are in town,
Yeah,
what do we got?
those probably won't be available when
He
the
said
Yankees
he
are in
thinks
town.
they're already taken. But can we get a look? I got to talk to Aaron Judge. I got things I want to say.
No offense to anyone who is a Milwaukee fan or maybe has played for Milwaukee in the past.
There's nobody there.
But a Monday Milwaukee game in Seattle, not necessarily the highest
It was cool, though.
rated event in the area.
No.
But it was, I mean, for a Monday with crappy weather and a team that not a lot of people really are passionate about outside of their area,
Well, it was the first time the
it was
Brewers
decent.
played here, I guess, in 6 years.
I think they were here in 2016.
I also, we saw friends at the game, and they told us they used the app called Game Time,
Mhm.
and they bought $2 tickets to the game like an hour before.
Yeah.
Game Time. I'm gonna do it in What's Trending.
Yeah. Also, they're not a paid sponsor here.
No, I'm just saying. I'll talk about it in What's Trending.
Apparently, Josh from Love Is Blind was there. You saw him, right?
No, Claire messaged me and told me,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, oh God. So I went to his Instagram to see where he was posting from, and he was in the pen, which was far from where we were. But I don't have words for Josh.
What was Josh's deal on the show?
Well, some people may be behind.
Wasn't the finale?
Yeah, but
I don't know. I feel like those shows you got to treat them like sporting events because they're live action shows, right? They're like I don't know. I just feel like with The Bachelor you treat it like a sporting event, right? Maybe you delay it by a day.
just not a fan.
Can you get voted off Love Is Blind, or you're on there the whole season?
If you don't find someone to be with, you're not on the whole season.
Oh,
Generally, they may bring you back in to stir some stuff up.
some manufactured drama.
Yeah.
Mergen said it is snow and sleeting in Cleveland today. I don't miss that from the East Coast. Although we've talked about how Ohio is not really, it's not East Coast. It also shouldn't really be Midwest because it's not really mid. It's very much East. It just doesn't share, it doesn't have a coastline along the ocean. It does have a decent coastline with the lake.
Are we talking about Ohio?
Yeah. So maybe it is an East Coast. Mid-East is good. But I'm also Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Like, ethnically. So, I don't know. I don't know if the people of Ohio are like that.
No.
Unless they happen to be Arabic.
So I have a Kenny update.
Oh, yeah. Kenny the Kidney Stone.
So I have a kidney stone. It landed me in the ER on March 3rd. And then, like, I would have random bouts of pain over the next 2 weeks. I did have a call with the urologist right after it happened about my plan, trying to pass it, but it is a larger kidney stone than normal, so it makes it more difficult to pass. And if it doesn't pass, you have to get a procedure.
Mhm.
So yesterday I had the call as a follow-up. And she's like, so how you feeling? I'm like, honestly, I haven't felt any pain in 3 weeks, at least. I've felt great.
After it was only a couple days after the kidney stone, and you were pretty good
About
after
a week,
that, right?
and then a week also after. Because remember when you were traveling,
Not
it
really.
was like hitting me pretty bad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she said, okay, that could mean that you passed it. It could also mean that it's not moving. And unfortunately, doing an x-ray, we didn't get like the best imaging, and she doesn't really trust ultrasound. So I am unfortunately going to have to get another CAT scan, which is one of the worst imaging things you can do because it's so much radiation
Oh.
and you don't want to do them a lot of times in your life. And now I've already had them.
Well, how many CAT scans have you had?
I had the one when I was in my 20s, this past one, and this
So
will be a
3?
third.
I mean, I feel like athletes get them all the time.
No, they'd probably get MRIs,
Oh, yeah, true. So
So-
an MRI is better than a CAT scan.
but also not great. So she said, we're going to have to do a CAT scan to see where it is. If it's still in there, we're going to book you for a surgery immediately.
Okay.
But she said, but depending on our scheduling, we don't know like where we can fit you in. And I was like, okay, well, if it's a long amount of time, am I going to have to get another CAT scan? She was like, great question. Unfortunately, yes, because we need to see where it is. And also, we're not going to put you under if you end up
Mhm.
passing it before surgery. So, yeah. So my insurance approved it yesterday, a CAT scan. So now I go in and I have to wait for them to call me.
For your actual CAT scan.
Yeah.
This is a good question from Tacoma Swifty. I don't know if this is a dumb question. I don't think it is because I had the same one. Is a CT scan different than a CAT scan?
So I Googled it yesterday because I was like,
Okay.
wait, am I saying the right thing? And from what internet says, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't have to drink the liquid one. Like there's some where you have to drink liquid.
I had to do that, and it was a
Oh.
bone scan. I had to drink like a thing and then a ton of water.
I think it's just CT, but people say CAT because it's easier. Because I Googled CAT scan and it came up CT.
Let's see. I'm going to Google it.
And she was calling it a CAT scan.
CAT scan versus CT scan.
The heck was that? She was calling it CAT scan, and my insurance comes up CT scan. So
Okay. So a
Oh.
CAT scan stands for computed axial tomography, and CT is simply computed tomography. CAT scan was the first of the two terms to be used. CT scan has become more common in recent years. These two procedures are the same.
look at that. We learned something new today.
There you go.
We need the more you know sound.
I'll tell you what. I think this internet thing, I think it's going to last for a while.
It might.
I think it's going to make humanity so much better overall. I don't think there's going to be any pitfalls to it whatsoever because it seems like a pretty standard thing you can use. It's the information highway, some might say.
But what is internet?
What is internet? That's a great question. It's like a phone line. You use an @ sign and you can message people with electronic mail. I think it's going to be good. That internet.
Okay. So
The
yeah.
liquid is nasty. Says so. The liquid was it a
I never-
bone scan? Let me look that up. I forgot what I
What
had.
did you break?
So I had a hip avulsion, I think is what it was called. A procedure to check for abnormal areas or damage in bones. So that is what I had because this is the image I got basically.
They can't see that.
I'm going to put it on the screen. Give me one moment here. Web.
The craziest things about getting these imaging is I always forget I have an IUD, and then I go look at it, and there's this random little T inside of me.
So this is what I was talking about. So I got that scan that literally shows your whole skeleton.
That's cool. What is it? Oh, do you have it still? I'd get that shit
I,
framed.
I bet you my mom probably has it still. And that's something I would keep. Because I do have the
I have
x-rays of my hand being broken.
I have my X-rays of my
or my foot.
spine and everything, and they're massive. They're in my closet.
So a hip avulsion is let me make sure that's what it's called. Let me go back to our regular screen here. Um, hip avulsion. Avulsion. Oh, I was saying it wrong my whole life. It's a fracture, a specific type of hip injury that occurs when a tendon or a ligament pulls off a piece of the bone from the hip or pelvis. And oftentimes, this happens especially to male athletes
Why? Oh, 'cause
as
you're
they're going
growing?
through puberty, because your muscles are getting stronger than your muscles are getting stronger than your bones in that time of your life.
I think I'm going to learn about this in my studies.
You might. And that's what was happening. I was running so much and doing so many like lower body exercises that whatever tendons I had here,
That makes
I want to
sense.
say it was on the right side, started pulling away parts of the bone
Mm.
because my bone wasn't ready to handle.
So how do you heal that?
You just,
Rest.
yeah, that one specifically, I had to, I think, take a month off, which was torture for me because I really,
But that
was
had to
my,
hurt.
oh, it hurt so much. The weird thing with that injury, though, and I think anyone who's played sports will tell you this, there are times where you can have a nasty injury, and due to adrenaline and
You
the
won't
way
know.
you're moving in a specific sport, you can actually still perform pretty well in that activity. It's all the moments after it that are excruciatingly painful. So I was still able to run a lot of my sprints. Maybe not at 100%, but I was still running them pretty fast. The problem I would have is basically moving at all after the race was over.
Oh, wow.
I would have my friends help get me into my friend Teddy's car, like
And
lift
you
up
weren't
my
like,
leg.
this is a problem?
I did that for like 2 weeks, and then I finally was like, I need to get checked out. The trainer at school couldn't figure anything out because it's like a hairline fracture too.
Yeah,
It's not
there you
like
go.
it's not like my hip is split in half. So he said you should go to a doctor. I did. I got the X-ray or the bone scan, and then I had to sit out for about a month, maybe a little longer.
Okay, so it looks like we have someone. I'm so confused.
Yes.
V. Kilman. I've been seeing them message a lot, ask a lot of questions, and people are answering them. But is it your first time here? What's your name?
I've
Where are
seen
you
that.
from?
I think I've seen that name
But
before.
they're asking questions.
Like what?
What are our names?
Oh, okay. Then
Not
maybe I haven't
that,
seen
but
them.
like, or looking for the morning show podcast. I'm very trying to figure it out.
What do we got?
I don't know.
What was the message that you put on the screen? I can't even see it.
V. Kilman said to Vicky, I'd be so lost if I didn't have someone like you and others if I didn't know who they are. I truly appreciate everyone's help and info. This community is great.
I will say the community is great, and I've got to shout out everybody here. Actually, what was that, Carla?
DNA 0629 said I was a little lost too when I first started watching, but I just kept watching. I love the variety of topics that they discuss. So cool.
There we go. And I will say this: I want to give everyone in this community, whether you're new or old, I don't want to say new or old, whether you are new here or you've been here for a long time, the amount of times we have worked with different partners. And listen, we're not the biggest streamers out there. We're not the biggest podcasters out there. That's easily quantifiable.
Yeah.
But every single partner that we've worked with, whether it was a paid client, a charity, whatever, they have always come back after whatever project we've done, and they've said, we have never worked with creators who have as supportive and as passionate
Yeah. It's crazy.
as a community as you guys do. And every single time they say that, we have to look at them and say,
We know.
we know. I wish we could take some credit for it, but
Wow.
I mean, we've been very, very blessed to have some of you who have supported us now for 9 years from when we started My Day Friday.
That's crazy. Next year will be 10 years. And we were on a call yesterday and someone was like, oh, how long have you guys worked together? And we were like,
Since 2009. It's crazy. Oh, you'll appreciate this, Carla Marie.
so thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow my nose while you talk about it.
Oh, well, hold on. I'm just. Okay.
Welcome
I
to the
just
Snot Show.
muted us because
Man, I'm
it's a
telling you
gross
what,
sound.
though. This,
What?
I'm like getting lightheaded because I think it's in my head's actually light now that it's all coming out.
Do you feel lighter? Do you feel taller? Like your head can.
Maybe I'll get some abs.
What?
getting all these boogers out.
What does that have to do with your abs?
I don't know.
Where were they?
Under all the French fries and rice I ate at the game yesterday.
Man, what was I going to say a second ago? Where were we? Before Carla Marie had
This
to.
community. You were going to say something actually important about me, I think.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
think
no.
so.
I said how we knew each other for so long, and you said I would appreciate this.
Oh, so when I was helping our friends at Gillywagon, which is the company that puts on Seattle Cocktail Week, Seattle Cocktail Club, Seattle, all that stuff. I was helping them after the Carnival of Cocktails. I was helping them take stuff out of their truck, put it into their office, and there were a couple college kids that were working for a moving company that were also helping as well. So I started chatting with one of them, asking him what he was going to do, blah, blah, blah. And then he asked me basically if I used my degree. And I said, I actually do. I switched majors, but I've worked in TV and radio broadcasting and broadcasting in general, basically ever since I left college. He's like, oh, so what do you do? Told him, and he said, well, why do you live in Seattle? You're from here. And then I had to tell him that we moved out here for a radio job.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, cool, man. Like, what radio station did you work for? And I said, well, for a while we were on Power 93.3. And then for a little bit we were also on KISS. He was like, oh, man, I think I listened to you guys when I was in high school. And I was like, that's making me feel a little old now, but it's also cool.
Yeah, that's like Madeline, who's coming with us to Disney night.
Okay.
She works for the Seahawks. She's 24, 25.
Yeah.
So 14 years, 13 years younger than you, 10, 11 younger than me.
Whatever.
I'm just saying. So my first day at Seahawks, when I met her, she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you. I'm from New Jersey. I grew up listening to you when I was a kid on Elvis's show. And I was like, when you were a kid? And then I realized, like, if I started as an intern at 21, she's 11, listening at 10 on her way to school. And that's nuts.
And then you realize that's when you're growing. That's when you're changing the most, right? From like your middle school to high school to college years. So that's the most transformative time of your life. You're a whole different person. You know, once you're an adult, you're changing still. You're still growing. You're still learning. But at the same time, you know who you are at your core. When you're 12 and then you end up being 22, you're a whole different person.
Yeah.
Well, damn, there's another thing. Oh, but I was going to say, that's like Rain and Ashley who are often in this chat.
Oh, yeah.
Rain listened in high school. Ashley listened in high school. So
They're still in
regardless
high
of where you
school.
came from, it's pretty cool that we have this weird group of, I like to think of us as like the weird band of misfit toys. You know, we all come from different places. We've got accountants, mailmen, small business owners, lawyers.
Pretty wild.
Everyone's in here.
Lenny said some of Brooke's teachers, so that's his daughter, saw your TED Talk with the students at their school and said, we grew up listening to them on the radio.
That's crazy.
All right, let's slow it down with the grew up word.
Hey, it is what it is.
Phrase.
It is what it is.
Okay, I put this up here that said, French fries, who even said that? Isn't CM allergic to potatoes? So fun fact.
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
So Hannah was ordering food at the game last night, and she said, do you want French fries? And I said, no, I'm allergic to potatoes. She's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, no fries for me. And we get to chatting up. The guy is ringing us up, and he gives us free fries. Or by accident, we just walked away with them. And I was like, well, I can't turn down free fries.
Yeah.
I was literally texting Hannah last night going, dude, I'm in so much pain.
Oh, that's why you were feeling so sick yesterday?
I feel so sick. My stomach is swollen. I told you I shouldn't have had those fries. But it was kind of like the reminder I needed that, like, you know, you're supposed to reintroduce foods, test them out sometimes. That was not.
Carla Marie's favorite fries are the ones that I buy and order for myself and then have to continually remind her as she's stealing them that she's allergic to French fries. And she goes, not really that allergic.
All right. If I have like 3.
They were the garlic fries, right?
No, you guys got the garlic ones.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the garlic fries.
It's weird. The garlic fries, and maybe they're different stadium to stadium, but I know they have them in Yankee Stadium as well. They're not great, but for some reason I keep ordering them and I enjoy eating them. I can't explain it. They're not.
It's like
delicious.
Not real garlic. There's
like,
so many other better things to eat at the stadium.
Yeah, especially I do appreciate here at T-Mobile Park where the Mariners play. and I think Lumen Field is like this as well, there are a lot of legitimately local options that have representation in the ballparks. Like
So
I went
cool.
to Ballard Pizza Company yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a local fried chicken place that's in there. There's a couple different local burger places have been in that stadium. Right now it's Little Woody's. It used to be Great
I go to
State
Din Tai
Burger.
Fung every time.
Din Tai Fung, which yes, Din Tai Fung, if you're not familiar, it's Taiwanese dumplings, right?
It started in Taiwan and then came to Seattle, and now it's opening up other places.
And but they have also a global footprint as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
outside of Taiwan and America. So it's not the most local, but it's still something that I think their first location ever was in Seattle.
Yeah.
So it's still something that we claim a little bit here.
But we have
And a lot
Moto
of-
Pizza, which I didn't get to go to
I
yesterday.
don't understand what this Moto Pizza thing
So
is.
it's they have 2 locations now in Seattle, but you can't just call and order pizza for today. You have to call, and then they're like, all right, our next available time to send you pizza is in like 6 months.
This has to just be great marketing. I've had a lot of pizza in Seattle. I've had almost all the places people tell you to go. And it's okay. But there isn't a single pizza place in Seattle that I would be like, oh, this is worth me ordering
you've never
3
had
weeks
it.
from now.
I've never-
I just can't imagine any pizza place in Seattle being that good. I also
and they
can't
don't
imagine
send you a reminder text.
they just give it to someone else.
They just call you and they're like, hey, your pizza's ready. So if you don't have it saved in your phone or anything,
These people, they're like pizza bullies. This is what we're witnessing today. We're witnessing people who maybe have like a BDSM fetish and like pizza. This is where they go. If you want to be made to feel like a peasant and like you're not important enough to just order a pizza, you go to this place. What is it? Moto Pizza. And listen, maybe I'll change my tune one day if I have it and it's the best pizza I've ever had.
Naara said first American Din Tai Fung was in California.
Didn't know that. I thought it was here.
V. Kilman said, am I subbed? I haven't gotten an ad yet. To us, it looks like you're using Amazon Prime.
Prime Gaming. Yeah, that's where the little crown logo next to your username is.
Yeah.
What is this one? I haven't seen this one in a while. Tacoma Swifty. Oh, there's like a little red explosion looking thing.
Yeah.
And that means Tacoma Swifty has cheered up to, or over, I should say, 10,000 bits.
That's crazy.
Let's see if I can get that on the screen. Does it come up with... Oh, no, it doesn't come up with her
Oh, no.
thing because of the way I have it formatted. But Tacoma Swifty also said Lumen and T-Mobile Park definitely had good food, good food options. I'm excited talking about garlic fries for Saturday.
What's Saturday?
I guess there's got to be a Mariners game, right?
Or Sounders.
Oh, or Sounders, true. Oh, wait a second. Is Realtor Jen getting Moto Pizza?
For her retirement?
In 30 years when they can finally deliver it? Or they don't deliver it, right? You have to pick it up from them? Because all I saw was a message from Realtor Jen saying, and they have weird flavors. I'm assuming this is about
I've never
the pizza
referred
varieties
to pizza as flavors, though. Toppings.
or options.
Options. Flavors?
But I guess it
Flavors
makes sense.
to me is only something that is ice cream or
Drinks.
fruity. I
'Cause you
wouldn't
could
say
have-
something as a weird flavor.
Because you could have cherry flavored Pepsi, right? It's cherry
but
Pepsi.
that's a fruit, I guess.
They have a Filipino inspired pizza at Moto. Okay.
Pizza opportunities. All right, Moto Pizza.
Varieties.
Oh, they have soft serve ice cream. It says ready for pickup in an hour and 5 minutes.
So did you just lie to everybody?
Well,
Let's
they're
order
not
it.
even open. So
Let's order it.
they're not open.
Just do it.
Mark your calendar for pickup. The system will only text you when your pies are ready. They call them pies.
What
though.
system are they using?
They called it pies, Tones. There are
Carrier
no
pigeons.
reminders set. Mark your calendar with your pickup day and time. Trust us.
I don't do that.
XOXO.
A
And they're
brand new business
small.
that makes you wait multiple days or
It's
weeks
not
for a
brand
pizza
new, sir.
is not trustable.
They have clam chowder. That's how it's spelled. There's a whole clam on there.
Oh, okay. So Nara said that in their new store, which is in Edmonds, you can just walk in.
Do you want to do it?
I'll go.
Well,
yeah.
no. Today we have a list of things to do before we bring the car to the auto body.
I don't want to do any of them. So we won't.
So
That's what being an
tomorrow,
adult is like.
Tomorrow, the car finally goes to the body shop. The part finally came in from when my car got hit in December during the ice storm, during the hit and run. That's wild. So we have to do that tomorrow. Seattle Cocktail Club is letting us borrow their car so that we can drop it off. But today, we have to run some errands, which involves me bringing my letter of declaration to downtown court and saying I wasn't in my car when that person went through the red light, turned on red. So I have to do that.
And they're supposed to just like dismiss it at that point?
I have to do it by tomorrow.
Okay.
So we got to do that. You got to bring something somewhere?
Yeah, there is. So in my quest to get as much stuff out of this home as possible, when I moved in here, I had my own toolkit. Carla Marie has her own, but the toolbox that I had didn't have the battery for the power drill. So I've got this power drill with no battery, and that wasn't my fault, by the way. I took that from my parents' house. That is 100% my dad. 100.
So you moved across the country with a drill that didn't have a battery?
Yeah, I just needed a something to put furniture and stuff together, so it has all the other tools.
Got it.
Had the box cutter, it had the regular hand Phillips head screwdriver, all that stuff. So, because anyone that knows me knows those tools would have been exactly where they needed to be, every single piece.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just throw this out because obviously it could be beneficial to someone. So I did a quick Google, and there's a place called the Southeast Seattle Tool Library. And you can donate your used in decent condition tools to this tool library. And that way, people, if they're doing home, DIY projects, they don't have to go buy something at Lowe's or Home Depot. They can simply rent it for the day, use it, and beyond. And I think they also do some sort of like educational programs as well too.
Cool.
For people who might need that.
And then we're going to go to Costco over there, I realized, instead of going to the
yeah.
other one, because I love Costco. We haven't been in so long, and we have to get stuff for our party on Friday.
I guess we'll talk about that on Thursday. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us, whether you've been here for a day, whether you've been listening to us since 2014 with the launch of My Day Friday. For real, we said it earlier, but this community has been incredible, which is why... What?
No. Oh, I know what you're going to say. We should do a Costco haul when we get home. I know you hate doing it, but...
I do hate doing that. Which is why, thanks to our community here, let me take this off the screen for a second. Bam. We did partner with our friends at HelloFresh. They saw basically how awesome you guys are. And they said, why don't we give all of the people who listen to you or watch you the opportunity to get 50% off their order and free shipping on their first box. So explain, I don't know, something.
So it's a meal kit delivery service, and you get everything you need sent to your door to make recipes that maybe you've never made before, but even you're going to give it a whirl.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I like about it is twofold. One is you don't have to like hang on to extra spices or ingredients that you're only going to use for that one recipe. But I am definitely someone who has learned how to make 3 or 4 things. And when I cook for myself, I only make those 3 or 4 things.
Yes.
So this is giving me the opportunity to learn some new recipes, explore a little bit with my taste buds, and find new things that I like.
For example, Jen, who's watching live right now in the chat, said we had the Thai chili burgers last night. If that comes back around on the menu, it was absolutely delicious.
That does sound really good.
Good to know. And then I think people see things like that and they're like, it's going to take too long. No, there are options when you pick your HelloFresh meals that are like 15 minutes or less.
Well, and the thing, like the Thai chicken burger is actually chili burger is actually a great example, because if someone said, hey, I've got this great recipe for a Thai chili burger, immediately I'd be like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it. But if someone said, here are all the ingredients to this really great Thai chili burger and the instructions, I'm much more likely to try it out.
Absolutely. So I'm excited. We're supposed to get our box tomorrow. I can't wait to get it. You can order yours and get 50% off. You just have to go to hellofresh.com/CMA50. Use code CMA50 if you forget that website for some reason and just remember HelloFresh. Code CMA50 will work for you, and you'll get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
And here's the best part. As we're getting out of here, what you can also do in the chat right now, if you're live on Twitch, you type in !, and the word fresh. No spaces, nothing like that. You put that into the chat, and you should get some information there and the link. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can also do that in the description of this YouTube video.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know our friends at Elvis's show also, Danielle does HelloFresh, Froggy does. They all do them.
We should have a HelloFresh
off
and get like
Bobby Flay.
No. Bobby Flay. No, we'll get a real celebrity chef like Guy Fieri.
No, we'll get the
Who's the shoeless one? Isn't there some girl that doesn't wear shoes or something when she cooks?
Barefoot Contessa?
Yeah, what does she do? Is she a cook? Right?
The shoeless one.
Yeah. Shoeless Joe Jackson or something.
No, we're going to get the guys at Moto Pizza.
No, they take too long.
They know food.
They take way too long. The whole point of this HelloFresh thing is that like you could do it that day.
You really didn't know it was Barefoot Contessa.
No, I don't know anything. Listen, my chef knowledge is going to go up 100-fold with just one box of HelloFresh. That's how little I know about cooking. Yeah, she cooks, right?
I can't. Oh, James.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris. Great idea. James from Watson's Counter.
Oh, he would be good.
Yeah.
Because he's like a normal human that also really knows food.
Yeah.
He's not doing things shoeless. And he doesn't dye his goatee blonde.
Or his tips.
And he's not Bobby Flay. So, thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will be back here on Twitch on Thursday, which we do every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, live at 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, 11 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. And there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast that is available, hopefully, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're going to get Chef Latte. Good idea, Chris.
Oh, Chef Latte is a good one. We will see you on Thursday.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.